The Marvel machine seems to have been losing steam over the past few years. Ever since Endgame, things just haven't felt the same. But is it superhero fatigue, or has Marvel just gotten lazy? What's up, Nerdgenic Nation? Superhero Nerd Aaron Wall here, and today I want to talk about Marvel and more specifically their most recent live-action series on Disney+, which had its first episode premiere just a few days ago. But very quickly before we jump into my thoughts on this series, let's first take a moment to talk about our partner Boosteroid. Boosteroid is a cloud gaming platform that allows you to play many popular PC titles on practically any device. And before Boosteroid, there were many popular games that I wanted to revisit, like the Batman Arkham games, The Witcher, and Star Wars Battlefront 2. But without a high-power PC or wanting to spend a ton of money rebuying these games, this seemed almost impossible. Boosteroid, however, solves that problem by providing you with unlimited cloud gaming time using its service. And the best thing is that all you need is a basic internet connection to enjoy it. For just under $10 a month, you can sign up to play popular games via the cloud, you can jump in and play multiplayer or play a popular RPG, and you never have to worry about constantly keeping up with the latest specs required for each title. Boosteroid's library of games increases on a weekly basis, and they were just recently purchased by Microsoft. So many of their titles like Gears 5, Grounded, and Deathloop will be available to play through the service soon. So what are you waiting for? You can try out Boosteroid using the link in the description, and by signing up, you're help supporting this channel. And with that, let's go ahead and get into my thoughts on Secret Invasion. Now, we decided to skip the usual livestream watch party for this series, and so far I'm kind of glad we did because it feels just rather lazy. Secret Invasion follows Nick Fury and the Skrull Talos as they try and stop the Skrulls who have infiltrated the highest spheres of the Marvel Universe, and the show is meant to be inspired by the Marvel comic series of the same name. Or is it? It's been reported that the director Ali Salim was told by Marvel to not read the comics prior to making the show. He's been quoted as saying, "The first thing Marvel said to me was, don't read the comics. They have nothing to do with this series. The series was more born out of the electric relationship that was created between Nick Fury and Talos." Which makes fans of the comics and the MCU question, so why even call it that? If it has such a vague connection, I mean, why bother? It just simply sets the wrong expectations, which will only lead to disappointing fans. And sure, it does have Skrulls, which is the main story aspect of the comic, but so did 2019's Captain Marvel when the characters were first introduced, and they've barely been in the MCU since. But now it's a big deal, but also not big enough to be a movie and thus demoted to a Disney Plus series. So the writing seems to have been on the wall that they were cutting corners from the get-go. But then the first episode premiered and there was immediate backlash about the intro, which was created using AI. Which also doesn't help Marvel during the time of a writer's strike in which they're campaigning to not use AI for a lot of creative aspects as it puts jobs in jeopardy. Which I mean, I certainly can understand as a graphic designer, some of the things that are being created using AI have been pretty mind-blowing. But I also see the benefits of it as long as it's used as a tool rather than a primary source of creativity and creation. But perhaps one of the biggest sins that Secret Invasion commits, which may perhaps be a bit less obvious to the casual viewer, is that they essentially copy the formula of Falcon and Winter Soldier, another Disney Plus series that came out just over 2 years ago. It copies that show's formula almost to a T, with the rogue faction of Skrulls who are bombing various places in Europe instead of a rogue faction of blip super soldiers. And had it not been for good friend of the channel Sal over at Nerd Affiliated, I myself may not have noticed this, but once you see this crack in the Marvel formula, it becomes rather glaring. But something that I did notice and thought was quite strange was how the Skrulls were spending a lot of time in their base called New Skrullos, which is where they say they can be themselves and be in their own skin, a major objective of the entire movement. And yet most of the people walking around, casually hanging out, and eating are almost all in their human form. So what exactly is the point here? My guess is that they didn't have the budget or want to make the effort to put too many people in makeup, or even bother spending the money to CGI the effect on everyone in the camp. Which to me is kind of dumb considering the amount of money that they're likely to have in their pockets, and it also essentially undermines the Skrulls' entire cause in this story. The show just feels rather thrown together, and like they expect you to be caught up on certain things that we never knew about but tell you through exposition and dialogue, like Talos' wife dying, and Guy running off and then it's Emilia Clarke. Which I thought was a major letdown that she wasn't Abigail Brand, though I do hope that the woman that she's impersonating is, as we don't know that yet. I think that would be a nice band-aid on that situation. And I know we're only in one episode, but it seriously makes me miss shows like WandaVision and Loki, where if the story may be lacking, at least the visuals made up for it, or vice versa. But anyway, those are my early thoughts on Secret Invasion after just the first episode, and now I want to hear from you in the Nerdgenic community. What did you think of the first episode of Secret Invasion? Are you enjoying the show, or even watching it at all? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, And while you're down there, be sure to hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell notification so you don't miss out on any future videos, as I'm sure I'll be talking about this show more as it goes on, and you won't want to miss out on those videos. But also be sure to give us a follow across all social media platforms at Nerdgenic. That way you don't miss out on any special news, announcements, or articles at nerdgenic.com. And in the meantime, if you want even more video content from us, check out this awesome video right over here. Or for more Marvel content, check out this playlist right over here. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, we really do appreciate it, and we hope to see you in the next video.